it's one of the biggest debates in the trading community, which is some people say trading is 99% technicals, others traders say trading is 99% psychology. Where do you fall on that spectrum of technicals versus psychology?
Oh, back in the day, I would say I was 80% psychology and 20% technicals.
Okay.
Now it's completely different. Now I would say it's 50-50. Honestly, it's 50-50 because the only reason why your psychology will take a toll is if you're not confident in your technicals. And neither can it be 80% psychology and 20% technicals, because if you're 20%, if your technicals is garbage, your psychology will take a. You can't control your psychology when you have horrible technicals. So it's pretty much 50-50. If you are confident and you have good technical analysis, your psychology will be in line with that. So you can only be as good. How can I phrase it better?
How about your psychology can only be as good as
your technicals and your system. Yeah, exactly that. That's the perfect way to put it.
What I found for myself, at least, is I haven't sat down for weeks on end trying to study my psychology.
Neither have I.
Reading books or whatever. But I've just found, first of all, a stack of evidence of backtesting and collected trades has brought me more reassurance than anything. So I know that if I've taken 1,000 trades like this, what's 1,001 going to be? I don't have that FOMO. I don't have that emotion. And I think a lot of things can be solved by technical competence, and that's just time in the game. As opposed to what I see traders doing is they bounce from technical strategy to one to another. Nothing really sticks for them. So they scapegoat the whole situation and say, must be my psychology. And now you end up in a long-winded route trying to fix your mind on a flawed system, and that's never going to gel.
Exactly.
And that's my personal anecdote, and probably for yourself too.
I completely agree.
You solved your technicals and the psychology followed through.
Got better, yeah. Because once I got confidence in my approach to the markets, naturally my psychology got better. I didn't study psychology. I didn't have a psychologist to help me. Neither did I study psychology in terms of how trading affects my psychology. I didn't dabble into any of that. I just naturally got more confident and less greedy and less fearful in the markets because of how confident I became in the system that I had. And because of the data that I collected. Now, data is everything. So if you know you have something that wins, why would you be fearful of a loss?
When you've got this mechanical M5 system, I've had a trader on the show who said if trading was so easy and if trading was really that mechanical, and you gave that same system to other traders, which as you have, and everybody has a different performance. The only reason people can deviate in performance on a systematic approach is psychology alone. Would you agree to that?
I completely agree. Now, for instance, the individual circumstance also plays a big role in that. What is he going through day to day? What is he struggling with? What pressures does he have in his life? You can't compare someone that has no responsibilities and no pressure to someone that has all the responsibilities and all the pressure. There'll be two completely different traders, completely different greed, completely different fear in the markets. This guy might be more risky, more risk averse, but more greedy. This guy will be less risky, but also less greedy.
Of course.
Two different people, two different lifestyles, two different psychology. So profitability system is one thing, but the trader himself is the next. It's what you're going through day to day. What are you struggling with? You can't bring your life problems over to the charts, because as soon as you bring your life problems to the charts will give you another problem. You know. So
when it comes to this psychology topic, I'm in agreement with everything you've said, and I do believe it's imperative, if you're not in a neutral state, if your psychology is of a healthy, sound mind, I'd say work on your technicals. But if you have anchors, for example, your parents are immigrant parents and they've always struggled with debt and these kind of things, and you've been born in that household, you're going to have that in you. You're going to be a bit more risk averse, whatever. Whereas if you're in a carefree environment, it's going to be a different environment. If you've got debt on your own shoulders and kids and 3 jobs versus you're a student, it's a different situation. So
I agree.
We can't just say level the playing field. It's obviously individualistic. And one thing I looked into was maybe you've come across Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's like a pyramid where a lot of traders, I believe, are stuck at the bottom because those traders that are coming to the markets to solve money problems, that's why everyone enters, is because they have money problems. Usually trading was a vehicle for the affluent, the rich, the high net worth individuals, have a family office and a diversified portfolio, and they started to trade. Whereas now it's people with debt, and that's not usually how it was. So when people are coming into the markets and they're struggling with the basics, rent, bills, basic needs of shelter, and you're now coming to the market, you're very low on this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that is significant anchors in your trading, I believe. But as you ascend the levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that's when you remove these anchors in yourself and then have a better time in your trading, I would believe.